Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here, and if you are new here, please hit subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you. As you can probably tell, I am so nervous to put this video out, as I don't know how you guys are going to respond to it. I don't know how much you guys know about this, about me, but it is something that that I wanted to share with you and to talk about publicly. And I am very nervous, so I do have a little beverage with me that will hopefully help. Cheers. Oh, that's rough. I recently got like a wine advent calendar, and it is so you get a different wine for every day that you open, and yeah, some are nicer than others. So yeah, today's video is talking about my experience in escorting, and I wanted to address it, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys publicly, because I don't know how much that you guys know or how much you guys don't know about my experience with it, and I just want to talk to you about it publicly and touch on it as a subject. Yeah, I just want to talk about it. So yeah, when I first started sort of doing Snapchat and stripping and that sort of thing, I just assumed that escorting would sort of roll into that parameter as something that I could do alongside the other jobs that I do. And I assumed that it would be easy, I assumed that it'd be fun, I assumed it'd be really good money, and I'm not saying it isn't. I mean, if you have that sort of mindset where you can escort and you can do it successfully, then that is absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy for you. But me personally, I don't have it, that sort of mindset. I can't switch off emotionally in order to be successful in escorting. So yeah, I'll take you back to when I first started. So basically, I only ever did it once, and it was through an agency, which I am so grateful for, because I know a lot of girls like do it independently, and that is amazing. But for me, like a newbie, I'd never done it before, so I wanted to do it like through an agency to sort of make sure that I was safe and secure. And yeah, so I first started stripping and doing Snapchat Premium and webcam and all the rest of it. And I thought, I could do escorting too. Like, it's no biggie. Like, I have one night stands. Like, you know, like I've had one night stands before. Like, I've had bad one night stands before where I've wanted to get out there as soon as I can. Like, what's the difference? I may as well get paid for it. Because it's really just about it's really exactly the same as having like a one night stand, pretty much, where you just get paid for it. So yeah, I had a look online on like on a website, like an escort agency website for South Yorkshire. So they covered Sheffield, Doncaster and Leeds. Yeah, and I sent off an application, said that I was a stripper and I was a webcam model, and I got a call back almost instantly from this lady wanting to meet up with me. She said somewhere public, which I was really happy about, and she said it was going to be an informal chat. So I went and met her at Starbucks in Medwall, and we had a talk, and she went through what would be expected of me and what I would be expected to do. And straight away, right off the bat, I was under the illusion that when you, when you work for yourself, I assume it's very, very different, and you can sort of do your own set of rules and regulations, and you can say what you can and can't do. But she sort of sat me down and like spoke about what I did, what I would do and what I wouldn't do. And she said, as a rule of thumb, we offer girlfriend experience. And I, straight off the bat, I was like, I don't want that. Like, I think that sex and then acting like somebody's girlfriend is completely different. Okay, like like kissing and intimacy and holding hands, that is completely different to me. Like I can't fake that, you know, so straight off the bat, she was like, we offer girlfriend experience as a must. Like, you must kiss, you must cuddle, you must hold hands. And that's sort of like the one thing that's like the only thing that I had a problem with. I was like, I don't want to kiss them because I don't like to kiss people. As horrible as that sounds, like as backward as that sounds, I know what you're thinking. Like, oh well, you can have sex with them, but you can't kiss them. To me, like, it's so different. Like, it is so intimate. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And then she went with me about everything that I will do and I won't do and blah, blah. And then literally, this was on the Thursday. On the Friday night, I was stripping. And I texted her. I'd had a few wines and I was like, I think I'd had a really bad night stripping or something. I think I was a bit like, oh, fuck this. I'll just do an escorting shift tomorrow and like make up the money. So yeah, I did that. I texted her and I was like, oh, I'm free for escorting tomorrow, blah, blah, like, put me down. Like, I was really cocky and really confident. I was like, this is going to be so easy, blah, blah. And yeah, so she messaged me back and she was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll give you a message in the morning and let you know, like, where you got to be. They give you apartment keys. So they have an apartment in Doncaster, Sheffield, and wherever else I think I said Leeds. And yeah, so I had these apartment keys and she was just going to tell me like which one to be at whatever time. Oh my God. And I remember on the morning of it, do you know when you wake up and you know that you've agreed to do something when you were wasted and then you've woken up and the time's come? She literally woke me up and she was like, you have a client in like 45 minutes. And I was still in bed and I was so hungover and the regret was just sitting in so bad. I was like, oh my God, well, I can't cancel now because it's like 45 minutes. Like, can't cancel. So yeah, I had these apartment keys and she gave me the address and she told me what I needed to wear. And it was basically like lingerie, like a 3-piece lingerie set with like stockings. And then like a formal dress over the top, like an office dress, like a smart down to the knee dress with a pair of heels. Like, that's what I had to wear no matter what. So I remember I got dressed and I was so hungover. I was like sweating. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck have I done? Oh. So yeah, I remember driving in my car. And I was literally like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they don't tell you anything, like, about the client, like, before you get there. All they say to you is, it's completely up to you who you see. If you look out the peephole and you don't like the look of him, then just ignore him. I know that's really unprofessional, but, like, I think they just sort of make an excuse, like, to the client, like, oh, yeah, she's not well or whatever. But, yeah, I thought I wanted to make a good impression. So I was like, whoever it is, I'm just going to see him. Like, whoever is at that door. So I got into the apartment. I couldn't find the apartment and I was getting so stressed because I knew that my client was about to turn up. And I was still, oh, yeah, they said to you, like, as a rule of thumb, try and be there before your client. It is so unprofessional if your client is there before you, waiting around in his car, waiting for you to turn up. Like, they like you to be in the apartment, glass of wine poured, ready to go. So yeah, I couldn't find the apartment and I was stressing so much. Like, I was on the phone to her and I was like, I can't find the apartment. And she was like, it's okay, don't panic. And I was like, okay. So I eventually found it and I opened the door to this building and it was like a block of flats. And I was like, oh my God, with like mailboxes. And I walked into this flat. And apparently everyone in the building knew that flat was like an escorting flat. And I walked past this family, like a mum, dad, and like 2 kids. And I just looked at them and sort of looked down and I thought, they know exactly why I'm here and what I'm doing. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was not ashamed. I had nothing to be ashamed about. Like, that comes across wrong. But it is very daunting. Like, for my first time to have people look at me and know exactly why I'm there. So I was like, so I walked into this apartment and I walked in and it was so dimly lit. And I was like, and I walked past the bedroom and I just looked into the bedroom and there was like a ready-made bed with candles lit. Like someone must have been in the apartment to like prep it before I arrived, with a towel folded onto the bed and a rose like on the bed. And there was like massage oil, talc, lotion like next to the bed, and a big tub of like condoms. Then it dawned on me. I was like, you are here to have sex with a stranger. I was like, oh my God. Like, I know that that's why I was there, but do you know when just seeing all that like prepared, I was like, you are here to have sex with a stranger and you have to have sex with that stranger like when he walks in. And I literally walked into the kitchen and I looked in the fridge and there were just rows and rows and rows of champagne like in the fridge, and I didn't even know if I was allowed to take one, but I literally popped that motherfucker. I literally just got a bottle of champagne, popped it, poured myself a glass and necked it, poured another one, necked it, poured another one, necked it. And I was like, I was quite early at this point. I was like 10 minutes early, so I was just wandering around. And I think that's what was making me more nervous, is waiting for him to arrive, because I had no idea what to expect. Oh my God. And I think I remember ripping one of my stockings, so I had to take my stockings off under my dress, and then I knew that I'd broken one of the rules already, because she said that you must wear stockings, like a 3-piece lingerie set, stockings with a dress over the top and heels. So I'd already broken a rule, because I'd taken my stockings off and put them in the bin, but I was like, my first client, I'm not going to wear ripped stockings. So yeah, I was waiting for him to arrive. And then like the doorbell went and I was like, literally, I've never been so nervous in my entire life. So the doorbell went, I went up to the little peephole, and he was like a little bit overweight, and he was quite like scruffy looking, and he was like quite an oldish guy. And I text like the lady, I was like, he's here. And she was like, he's really lovely. His name's whatever, I can't remember his name. His name's whatever, like he's really well off, like he's a farmer, like he's lovely, he'll treat you with so much respect. And I was literally like, my thumbs was like I couldn't even type because I was so nervous. I was like, yeah, he's here, everything's fine. And she was like, make sure you get the money up front. And I was like, oh my God, I'm actually doing this. You got to remember as well, at this point, I'm still so hungover, so I'm still like not really with it. I'm still like sweating. I'm still like a little bit delirious. I've just necked like 4 glasses of champagne. So I invited him in and I was like, hi, and like gave him a hug and like a little kiss on the cheek, and he was like, hi, and he came in. Bless his heart, he'd brought me presents. He'd never met me before, and he knew that this was my first ever time doing it, because obviously the agency had told him. He'd brought me presents. I think he'd brought me like a little bear. He'd brought me like a box of chocolates, bunch of roses, and a bottle of wine. And I was like, oh, he was so lovely. So I invited him in, and he must have known that I was so nervous, because he was like, literally, he was like, I'll leave you with that wine. He was like, start without me. He was like, I'm going to go in the shower and like let you sort of gather yourself. So I was like, oh my God, like bless his heart. Like he must have known that I was so nervous. So yeah, I let him get in the shower. I sat and collected myself, and I opened the bottle of wine. I had a glass of wine. I poured him one because I was like, he's brought the wine. He got out of the shower and like came and met me like in the living room, like with his little towel wrapped around him. And I was like, hi. And he was like, oh my God, like you're so stunning. Like you're so beautiful. Look at you. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, are you nervous? And I was like, I'm so nervous. And he was like, don't be nervous. He was like, we don't have to do anything. Like, I just really wanted your time. Like I just wanted to spend time with you and like fuss over you and like keep you company. And I was like, for a first client, I was like, you're an absolute dream. I could not have asked for a nicer client. Anyway, we got chatting on the sofa and we got talking about what he liked and what he didn't like, and all he wanted me to do, guys, was he just wanted lots of kisses and cuddles, and then he wanted like a massage, and he'd actually brought his own baby lotion too. So I was like, let's go into the bedroom. And I was like, do you want me to like take my clothes off? And he was like, yeah, just strip down to your underwear, but like leave your heels on. And I was like, I can do that. Like I'm a stripper. So I stripped down to my lingerie and kept my heels on, and I just gave him a nice massage, and then he turned over, pulled me towards him on the bed, and we had lots of kisses and cuddles. And then the timer went off, like that was it. So I didn't have to have sex with him. I don't think that he particularly wanted to, judging from how nervous I was. Because obviously I don't think he wanted to put me in a position where I was uncomfortable. I mean, I would have obviously had sex with him because I was there to have sex with him. I wasn't going to put up a fight and be like, no, I can't have sex with you. I was very nervous, but like I didn't not want to. You know what I'm saying? I would have happily had sex with him if he wanted to. So yeah, the timer went off. And he got dressed and he left. And for some reason, I couldn't stop shaking. And I knew for a fact that, and this sounds really weird, I knew for a fact that because we hadn't had sex, it had just prolonged my nerves for the next client, because I was like, the next client, I'm going to have sex with them. So in a way, it's as lovely as he was and as understanding as he was, it sort of made it worse for me, because I think if we'd have just wham bam thank you ma'am, like literally got it out of the way, then yeah, I think I would have been so much like happier to have sex with the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. But because we didn't, it sort of set me back, and it sort of made me worse, because I was like, well, not all customers are going to be like that, you know, you are going to have sex with the next one. And I think that's what really put me off. Like, as lovely as he was, I was sort of like, oh God. So I remember I just got dressed and I just got out of the apartment, and the lady had messaged me and she was like, your next customer is literally going to be with you in like 10 minutes. And I was like, cancel it. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, this is not for me. Like, I thought I could do it. I was like, I didn't even have sex with the guy. I'm shaking like a leaf. I was like, I don't think I can do this. And she was like, oh girl, like you got this, like you did really well, like he's already left you a really good review. And I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I can't. I was like, not all customers are going to be like him. Like, I just wish, like, as horrible as this sounds, I really wish that my first customer, I just walked in and been like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, take your pants off. Like, let's fucking do this. Like, I really wish that would have happened, because then it would have just been like, oh, it's easy. I can fucking do this. But no, I think prolonging it is what, like, set me off. And I was like, I can't do this. Oh, so yeah, that was my failed career as an escort. I mean, you know what? If I had the mentality to be able to do it and like to be able to switch my emotions off and just walk in and be like, pants off, let's do this, then do you know what? I would make so much money from it. But yeah, I sort of figured out very quickly that the whole reason that I love stripping and that I love webcam and that I love Snapchat Premium is because I know that I don't have to give my body to them. Like, I don't have to, like, nothing is going to happen to me. Like, when I'm stripping, I know that I take my underwear off and I can dance for them, and then as soon as I say that's it, then they have to walk out and they're not allowed to touch me. Same with webcamming and Snapchat Premium. I just know that they're behind a screen and that they can't touch me and that nothing is going to happen to me. Not that anything would happen to me escorting, because obviously with agencies, they look after you very well and all their clients are vetted. Everything else, and they keep in touch with you throughout. But yeah, I think that is why I failed as an escort, because I just didn't have the mentality to do it. And I think that it's very important when you are an escort to be able to switch off emotionally, and I just couldn't. And I think that's why it just didn't suit me. Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope you like this video. Please hit like and subscribe. And yeah, I was really nervous making this, and I'm really nervous to put this out, so be nice with me. Thank you, guys.